Every choice on a shelf is a vote. When brands ignore our health and our values, we don't have to stay quiet. We can walk past. We can speak up. We can decide what deserves our trust.
Frustrated, overlooked. In aisle after aisle, our money leaves our community. But it doesn't have to. Put your dollars where they matter. Choose Black-owned beauty.
Okay, so let's talk about a quiet but incredibly powerful economic movement that's happening right now in Black America. It's not playing out on the streets, but in the shopping aisle. It's the Black Hair Care Boycott, and it's all about a conscious choice to shift billions of dollars back into the community. And, to really get what this movement is all about, we don't need to dig through complex market data. Not yet, anyway. It actually starts somewhere much, much closer to home. Probably somewhere you were just this morning. Your bathroom. Seriously, take a second and picture it.
Stop and look at your bathroom counter right now. How many of those bottles are owned by the people they were made for?
Your shampoo, your conditioner, all the oils and gels. Now ask yourself, how many of those products, the ones marketed specifically for Black hair, are actually owned by Black entrepreneurs? The answer to that question, well, that's the starting point for this entire conversation. Because you have to understand, for the people involved in this is a very conscious decision to reclaim control. This isn't just about finding a better hair cream. It's about fundamentally shifting the economic balance in a massive industry. It's a movement born from this feeling that something important was lost, and it needs to be taken back. So what is that problem exactly? What sparked this whole collective action? Well, to get to the heart of it, you've got to follow the money. You have to ask a really simple question. Who is actually profiting from Black hair?
Every year, the Black hair care industry generates over $9 billion. Most of that wealth leaves our communities and ends up in the hands of large corporations. This graphic shows just how much money flows out, money created by our styles, our textures, and our choices.
$9 billion. Just let that sink in. That's the estimated value of the Black hair care market. It's a staggering number. But here's the kicker, the crucial point from our sources. The vast majority of that wealth leaves the Black community almost as soon as it's spent.
When a dollar leaves the neighborhood, so does its power. But when that same dollar keeps moving here at home, from customer to Black-owned business, from that business to a Black-owned supplier, and on again to the next entrepreneur, it works harder. It touches more lives. It builds.
That economic drain is the central issue here. And look, this didn't just happen overnight. This is a quick history lesson. You had Black women as the absolute pioneers of this industry, creating products for their own communities.
Welcome aboard. We're thrilled to have you.
Thank you. Excited to get started.
Built and shipped with care. Black-owned. Community-driven.
But over the decades, many of those original iconic brands were sold, and ownership shifted. So today, a lot of household names you might assume are Black-owned are actually part of these giant multinational corporations. And it goes beyond just corporate ownership. It's about the day-to-day experience. The sources we looked at detail this common list of frustrations Black consumers face in a lot of non-Black-owned beauty supply stores.
Every aisle looks the same. Rows and rows of products that were never made for us, but take our dollars anyway. It's time to stop funding what doesn't serve us and start investing in the beauty made by us, for us. When we choose Black-owned, we choose community. We choose growth. Together, we
It's this feeling of being treated like a potential criminal instead of a valued customer. Products locked behind glass, being followed through the aisles, and just a general lack of cultural understanding from the staff. And then there's an issue that goes beyond economics or customer service. This is about health. Research that was highlighted in our source material suggests that some products marketed heavily to Black women actually contain higher levels of potentially harmful ingredients, things like parabens and phthalates, which have been linked to some serious health concerns. This quote really just sums it all up, doesn't it? It's the accumulation of all these issues, the money leaving the community, the poor retail experience, and now these health concerns. It all creates a breaking point. And that breaking point, that's the boycott. So all that frustration, it didn't just fizzle out. It led to a really powerful response, a proactive strategy for what's called economic determination. This whole movement is grounded in this powerful concept, economic self-determination. At its core, it's simply the right for a community to control its own economic destiny, to build wealth on its own terms. It's that simple and that profound. And this chart just makes the goals so incredibly clear. Right now, as that big bar shows, most of the money spent on hair care flows straight out of the community. The boycott aims to completely flip that dynamic, to shrink that outflow bar way down and dramatically grow the small one, keeping those dollars circulating right where they're spent. Okay, so how do you actually do that? The strategy is being called the Great Swap, and its whole purpose is to build something called a closed-loop system. So in a closed-loop system, when you buy a product from a Black-owned business, that dollar doesn't just disappear, right? It pays the owner, who then pays their employees, who might then go buy lunch from another local Black-owned spot. That money gets to circulate multiple times, building up collective wealth before it ever leaves the community. And the swap isn't just about the economics, it's also about the experience. This slide really contrasts those frustrations we talked about earlier with the kind of environment you often find in Black-owned stores. It's the difference between being treated with suspicion and being welcomed with real cultural understanding by someone who actually uses and loves the same products. So for anyone who wants to participate, the sources lay out a really clear 4-step path. It's all about becoming an intentional consumer. First, identify who actually owns your current products. Then, find high-quality, Black-owned alternatives. And then just make the swap. It's all about spending with purpose. This brings us to the core takeaway of this entire movement. It's about recognizing the immense power that you hold in every single dollar. Every single purchase you make isn't just a transaction, it's a vote. It's a vote for the kind of world and the kind of community you want to support. And the impact of that vote is it's huge. It's not just about one purchase. Each dollar is a piece of building generational wealth, of fostering community respect, of demanding healthier products, and of holding large corporations accountable. This is such a critical point. The power of a boycott is really twofold. It's the positive act of supporting one business, absolutely, but it's equally about the clear economic message you send by consciously choosing not to spend your money somewhere else. I think this quote from the source material is just the perfect way to visualize the impact. It's not abstract, it's tangible. Every single dollar is a seed. Some of those seeds grow into massive corporations far away, while others can grow right there in your own community. And so that leaves us with the final, simple question that this whole movement poses. When you look at your spending, at your habits, at your very next purchase, where are you planting your seeds? It's a question for every single one of us to consider. Thanks for joining me.
$9 billion. That's what this industry pulls in every year. Yet whole communities are still locked out. When we buy local, money keeps moving, recirculating, and building real opportunity. Community-owned shops are rewriting the story. Accessible, trusted, and powered by us. Want to see more change like this?